So much, everyone. I'll take you back. This matter doesn't seem to go away anytime soon. And it's about the crisis and escalating issues in Warri Delta State. Now, following the INEC delineation exercise, the Itsekiri people are not backing down. And they're at the forefront of the controversy. They have rejected INEC's recent delineation of wards and polling units in the Warri Federal Constituency. And tonight, yet again, the Itsekiri people were saying they're not satisfied and INEC is causing havoc, according to them. Tonight, I'm being joined by the chairman of Itsekiri Interest Group, Mr. Gubemi Awala. Thank you so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Yes, good evening. Thank you for having me.
I thought this is settled. I thought everybody have moved on. There were meetings by the NSA and some leaders of the different groups in Warri. What again is going on?
It cannot move on because there are a lot of illegalities that we have seen. Warri Federal Constituency is the most delineated federal constituency in Nigeria. We might not know this is the 5th ward delineation. The first was in 1980 when Warri local government was created in Bende State. The second was 1991 when Warri South and Warri North was created in Delta State. Then 96 when Warri Southwest local government was created. That was even the benchmark for the crisis. 1997, Warri South was delineated even without following the provisions of the constitution that delineation should be every 10 years. They did it in less than 10 years and the Itsekiris went to court. We were in court for 6 years, and after 6 years, in 2003, we got judgment in the Federal High Court. Surprise you to know that in 1999, there was, because of the interlocutory injunction from the court, Itsekiris were able to get our things in order because INEC obeyed as at that time. 2003, after we got the judgment, INEC headquarters in Abuja wrote a memo to INEC in Delta State that they should obey the court judgment. It has not been obeyed for 15 years. In 2018, we ended up in the Court of Appeal, and it was struck out, and the court declared the ward structure in Warri South local government illegal. You will be very surprised that the 2 House of Assembly members in Constituency 1 and Constituency 2 are sitting on illegal ward structures. The constituencies they are representing is alien to the law.
But is in alignment with what the Supreme Court has said.
What the Supreme Court has said has nothing to do with present day.
Let's look at what is happening. Itsekiris are not majority in Warri. Urobos are, isn't it?
No, sir. It is a wrong narrative that they have been pushing out. And because the Itsekiris first started our conversation from the historical background, they took advantage of the majority. Itsekiris are majority in Warri Federal Constituency, and I'll give you the reason. The only record INEC has for this ward delineation, it is the registered voters from the voters register. So what we expect, and they gave us guidelines. The guidelines said maximum of 750 registered voters must be in a unit, minimum of 50 registered voters must be in a unit. Maximum of 50 units must be in a ward. So this was what we're working with. Now, in Warri North, for example, we have 75,000 Itsekiri registered voters and 34,000 Ijaw registered voters. In Warri South, we have 88,000 Itsekiri registered voters and 38,000 Yoruba registered voters. Only in Warri Southwest that we have 94,000 Itsekiri registered voters and 95,000 Ijaw registered voters. But the units, Itsekiris have 175 units and the Ijaws have 157 units. When you look at what is happening, INEC also gave another guideline to give a sort of dimension between units. 500 meters for units within urban areas and 1 kilometer for units in riverine and rural areas. But from what they did, it was clear they worked with another.
Let me ask you. In terms of population, yes, in Warri, the figures are saying Urobos are more, followed by Itsekiri, then the Ijaws.
Well, I don't know where they got their figures.
So just a moment. Let me ask you again. Over the years, Those who believe that election results and the figures out of elections have been mostly fraudulent. But now, based on beavers, Urobos have shown that they are more in terms of voting population. And INEC, in its delineation, has done the right thing. The Ijaws are happy, Urobos are happy. Why are the Itsekiri the only ones who are? And these are the three major ethnic groups in Warri. Am I right?
Yes. There's something that we need to correct here. When we are talking about the voters, are we going to walk outside the registered voters? The registered voters, I just read out the figures of the registered voters. INEC's record shows that Itsekiris have by far majority in...
Who are the original owners of Warri?
Itsekiris are the original owners of Warri.
Why was it that, history shows that Itsekiris take permission to bury their dead from the Urobos?
Well, there are a lot of fictitious issues. Some of the documents that these Urobos have flaunted over the last few weeks have even shown that even some of the areas they claim to settle at are tenants, they are tenants there. For example, the Supreme Court said in 1974 that any Urobo man staying in Igbudu community, which is under the Agbasa area, is a tenant. Only an Itsekiri man staying there is not a tenant. The Urobos in Warri, especially the Urobos in Agbasa, have never won any case in the Supreme Court about ownership of Warri. The Ijaws have never even won any case in ownership of Warri.
The member representing Warri Federal Constituency, is he Urobo?
It's an Itsekiri man, and it has always been an Itsekiri man.
The member, House of Assembly members representing Warri in the House of... In
the House of Assembly, we have Itsekiris, 2 Itsekiris, 1 Urobo, and 1 Ijaw. But as at 1999, we had 4 Itsekiris in the House of Assembly, and one of them was Speaker. The Speaker of Delta State House of Assembly now is an Ijaw man from Warri Southwest. But he was not an Ijaw man because of the population or anything. The Itsekiris started a strategy of let peace reign. We give, you give. Because of the bigger...
So what is the biggest fear of the Itsekiris now?
The biggest fear of the Itsekiris now is that they have tried to push Itsekiri to the position that Itsekiri will not have an House of Rep member. We have 8 Urobo local governments. We have 3 Ijaw local governments. And these Ijaw local governments, they have 2 House of Rep members. The Urobos have about 3 House of Rep members. So what they are trying to do is that Itsekiri will not have any federal representation. And from what the INEC has done, Itsekiri will not even have a local government chairman. Itsekiri will not have an House of Assembly member. Meanwhile, these other people, like the Urobos, they have 8 local government chairmen. So how do you want the Itsekiri to speak when we don't have anybody on the
table?
But
they say you are a minority.
Well, we work with figures. The voters register has changed, unlike before that.
So you disagree with the fact that in Warri, Urobos are more, followed by Itsekiri, followed by...
In Warri South local government, Itsekiris have 88,000 registered voters. With pictures, the Urobos have 38,000 registered voters. So how do you want to claim that there are more? Are we going to count people that don't have voters card to give to INEC? Let me even give you another instance. The president of Nigeria votes in Lagos, even though he's in Abuja. There are a lot of Itsekiris in Lagos and other places, even outside Warri, but during the election, they come back home to vote. Some of the Urobos stay in Warri. During the election, they go out of Warri to vote. Same with the Ijaws. Some of the Ijaws in Warri Southwest, some of them go to Bayelsa to vote. So INEC will only work with the record of voters registered they have on.
Why is it that the Itsekiris are thinking that the Ijaws rigged this issue and they skewed it against them? Why if something is done by an institution of state, why are you thinking it, because it doesn't favor you now?
Yes.
You think that the Ijaws have manipulated it? Meanwhile, Urobo says it's perfect. Let us go with it.
Yes. The first issue was that when the committee was set up, 2 meetings were called in Abuja. The Itsekiris were not involved. The first meeting called in Asaba, when the Itsekiri finally got involved, we found out that the chairman of the INEC Delineation Committee was an Ijaw woman, Professor Rhoda Gumus. If you use an Ijaw woman to chair something that involves the Ijaw people, we don't expect fairness. Secondly, in Warri Southwest, for example, we have wards, based on the guideline, they said if 50 units are in one ward, it should be created, they should create another ward Now, what we have like Orere ward and Ogborodo ward. They have 60 units each. No ward was created from those units. No ward was created from these wards that already have over 60 units. Meanwhile, wards in Oporoza and Baramatu that have less than 30 units, they created 3 wards from there. So it is clear that they didn't even follow their guidelines.
So what are you asking for?
One, INEC should conduct a fresh delineation. Shekiris are not against the Supreme Court judgment. Follow your guidelines. If you follow your guidelines, it is not possible that with the number of Shekiri registered voters, Shekiris will have lesser wards than these other tribes. Let me even remind Nigerians that these tribes that we see as minorities, the Ijaws and the Urhobos, that are minorities in Warri Federal Constituency, even in other local government, there are other tribes that are minorities there, but they don't have the opportunity that Shekiri gave to them. For example, there are Shekiris in Sapele local government, but we don't have any voters.
So Shekiris are thinking that you accommodated the Urhobo and Ijaws and had taken over.
Yes.
Is that how you feel?
Because let me even give another throwback. In 1980, when the Warri local government was created, 1981, there was a protest, and the Ijaws of Warri Southwest, the Old Bijo people and the Baramatu people, protested to the then speaker, Alegbe. They didn't have anybody representing them in Warri local government. The Mr. Oporozo, who was the deputy speaker, raised the motion that they want to create a new local government out of Warri, and the House of Assembly moved that it cannot be possible. These people moved to Burutu. They said they want to go and meet their kids and kin. And when they moved to Burutu, at the end of the day, they were not able to stay because they're cultural and second-class citizens.
We need to go, Mr. Awala. But one person is said to have been killed in all of this, and your people are shutting down oil facility and installation, claiming that Itsekiri owns the land where some of these facilities. Is that fair to the nation?
The protest was ongoing, and after the shutdown, the Shekiris went for dialogue. There were meetings even with the security advisor. Shekiris have been known to be peaceful people. And so far, so good. We're hoping that progress will be made. And we have started seeing the body motion of the federal government. But what we want to say is that if there's going to be any move by INEC, is for them to follow their guidelines. That's all we're asking. Follow the guidelines, everybody will be happy.
Awala, thank you so much indeed for your time today. I appreciate it and wish you and the Itsekiri people the best.